Everyone, one of the butt of the jokes of the RPG industry is grappling. Grappling is weird. Grappling rules don't work. Well, I'm here to tell you that the grappling rules in Savage Worlds are actually pretty straightforward. Savage Worlds, one of the best games. Hey everyone, it's Carl with Tabletop Tango. Look at the bubbles, do the stuff. That's right, I said it as always. Look at the bubbles, do the stuff. I hope you will like, subscribe, support if you feel up to do it. But we'd really like the subscriptions and the likes and all that stuff, because that's pretty cool. When we see the subscriptions go up, they hit a milestone, we like to do a live stream, and so that's always fun to do. So what am I talking about today? I'm talking about grappling in Savage Worlds RPG. Just like everything in Savage Worlds that's supposed to be fast, furious fun, it's pretty straightforward to do. It's almost not worth doing a video, but I'm going to do it anyway, you know, because why not? So let's talk about what grappling takes. So the basics of grappling is it's an opposed athletics roll. So what's an opposed roll? Let's just make sure we can remember that. So an attacker rolls first and sets a target number. So let's say in this case our grappler rolls a 9. They must have at least a success of 4, which let's say our grappler does. The opponent then rolls the appropriate trait, which, since this is an opposed athletics roll, it's going to be athletics, and it needs to be equal or better to successfully oppose the roll. So in this case, if our person being grappled gets a 9 or more, it's a failure. If they get an 8, for example, it's a basic success. If they were to get a 5, right, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then that would be a raise because it's 4 above the number that they rolled. So that's basics of an opposed roll. So if the grappler is successful, they entangle the person they're grappling. If they get a raise, they put them in the bound condition. So again, let's look at what entangled is. Well, entangled is the victim cannot move and is vulnerable. So vulnerable, remember, means +2 to attacks against them. Bound means the victim cannot move and is distracted and vulnerable. So in that case, distracted means they also get a -2 to trait rolls that they're doing. The other thing with being bound is you cannot make any physical actions until you break free. So that's another piece of it. To break out of that, you basically need to make a strength -2 or the athletics check. With a success, you move from one category to the next. So if you're bound, you become entangled. If you're entangled, then you've broken free of the grapple. So pretty straightforward. It follows the entangled bound rules, just like everything else. One of the things to keep in mind is gang up bonuses do apply. So if we've got the fighter trying to grapple something and you've got multiple parts of the party around them, they'll get those gang up bonuses to their grapple rolls, to that athletics check. So that's pretty cool, to be honest. So let's do an example. Let's talk about how it actually works. Well, before that, let's talk a little bit about size. So if you look at the size table before the bestiary and the core rules, you'll see that there's a chart which shows the size differences and what the pluses are or minuses are based on that physical size difference from sort of the normal human size. That's important. So the attacker subtracts the difference between those two scales between the targets, no matter what. So, for example, they give in the book is a dragon, which is huge, which is a +4, is attempting to pin a half folk, which is normal size. So, so the difference is 4. So the dragon grapples at a -4. So let's say the half folk is trying to grapple as an ogre or something that's maybe +1. Well, the half folk is going to get a -1 to theirs. So it doesn't matter whether it's bigger or smaller, you're going to get a penalty based on the size differential. So that's an important little point. So let's give that example now. So let's say the party is hired to, sometimes people ask, why would I even grapple? It's a waste of time. But let's say the party is hired to capture a wereboar or a werebear that's been kind of causing problems to the village, but they don't want to hurt it because they know it's one of the village elders who's been infected and they want to see if they could cure him. So you track them down, the party tracks them down to the cave where it transforms when the time is right, and they attempt to grapple. The whole party is there, so the fighter who's going to be doing the grappling gets that gang up bonus. and he rolls. Let's say we do the action cards. We deal the action cards, and let's say that our heroes get to go first. Our fighter gets to go first. So he rolls, and let's say he rolls that 10, and the bear rolls a 5. So now we've got a raise. And so that case, the werebear is now entangled and bound. Remember, so he's vulnerable and distracted. So that's important. So now he's got him held. Let's say the bear now goes. And let's say the bear goes ahead and rolls that agility to try to get out of the situation. And let's say it's successful, has a basic success. So it's gone from bound to now entangled, but it's still grappled. So next round comes up, fighter again. Let's say he's got quick. Let's say he's got level-headed for the fighter. Really? Okay. He's got level-headed, and so he gets a higher card and still gets to go first, which is phenomenal. He's got the bear grappled, and so he now gets a chance to do something else with this grappled bear, and he decides he's going to punch him with non-lethal damage to try to knock him out. And so he would use his strength to cause that damage to the werebear, because that's part of the grappling rules, is that when you've got somebody grappled, you can use your strength roll to cause damage to them while they're grappled. So it's almost like punching them, right? So let's say he's successful, he does a lot of damage, the bear is now incapacitated, it's knocked out, and you've successfully wrap it up, tie it up, and bring it to the villagers so that they can hopefully figure out a way to cure this werebear of his ailment. So that's grappling. Pretty straightforward, right? Not too hard. Couple of edges come into effect here. Acrobat is one of them. It says Acrobat gets 1 free reroll on athletics rolls that involve balance, tumbling, or grappling. So you free reroll, nothing wrong with that. And it doesn't say whether it's you being the attacker or whether you're the one who's they're trying to grapple. It just says on grappling. So that's pretty good. Very cool. Brute is another one. Brute is kind of, it's a game master's call, right? So the character may also resist athletics tests with strength if she chooses, and that's Brute, which is a novice edge. In grappling, to break free, it's strength -2 or athletics. In this case, we say the character can substitute strength for athletics. So would you let the player then have no penalty for using strength because it's substituting athletics? If they spent money on this edge or spent a raise on this, or an advance on this edge, I'd say have at it. Go ahead. Why not? That would be my ruling. So anyway, that is grappling in a nutshell. Opposed athletics roll, simple. Success means they're entangled, simple. A raise means they're bound, simple. And then once they're grappled, you can cause damage to them based on your strength. Size matters. The difference in size provides a penalty to the grappler. Breaking free, strength -2, or athletics. Pretty straightforward. Grappling. Fun, exciting for the whole party, and simple to do. So once again, I'm Carl with Tabletop Tango. Please look at the bubbles. Please do the stuff. We really appreciate it. And we will catch you in the next video. Thanks much. Bye. Savage World, one of the best games today. Savage World, Benny.